it's Friday. God damn, it's Friday. What is up, you sexy bastards? Spencer, I was trying to do too much as usual. As my mother says, oh, Noah, he's always doing so much. Mitchell, I'm going to check with you on the side messages. Why do we never put it to Facebook? I don't know why we not do that. It's free. It's free. Jeremy, can we make sure we post this to the Facebook world? Alexis, what is up, all you sexy bastards? Mitchell, where do I need to go online? I'm like so nasally. My voice is like extra Jewy today. It's like, hello, everybody. It's Noah Kagan. I'm back at the office. Hot damn it. Mitchell, you want me to go do this thing in the backup? Wow, what a cool name. Hey, what is up, all you sexy bastards? Show that. What is this? What word is that? FAC? Is that FAP? Show the FAP up. I was in the Caribbean. I was down in, where the hell was I? Puerto Rico. I just got back last night. I'm back in my office. I'm sweaty. I'm not flustered. I'm actually in a fucking great mood. Good to see you, Fatima. Fatima, you had a really nice message. I appreciated you messaging that. Alex, you guys, Alex hacked me. That was pretty fucking wild. Hold on. I'm getting some shit organized. What is up, all you sexy people? We're going to be bringing on Spencer. You guys got to check out his channel. Who else is here in the house? Vin. How's Puerto Rico? Thank you for asking. Hey, Kevin Fox. Dieter. All you sexy people are here. Dude, is this not working? Guys, I'm just learning how to use technology. 39, figuring it out. Oh, shit, you put the video live? All right, y'all. So Alex hacked me. I texted Alex. I said, hey, oh, K-Gang, yes. I texted Alex. I was like, hey, man, can you hack me? So he went and hacked my account. And he found out, like, I didn't actually have any money, and I'm pretty much a fraud, which is great because Spencer is the fraud hunter. No, I'm just kidding. I actually do have the money and all these things. But Alex went and found, like, my dad's middle name. He, like, traveled to Israel. There's some weird-ass shit that he did, my man. Check out his video. You guys, go to Alex's channel. It's right up here, Alex Chavarriat. Alex, your last name sounds like a yummy cheese. Sometimes I wish I had more people telling me my jokes. My account is not very secure. How are you guys doing on this Friday? Sold a house today? Nice, Emmett. Looking good, dude. What is up, Marco? Good to see you, my man. I look 25. I feel like the wrinkles have been a little bit weird lately. Spencer, don't worry. We're about to have some fun today. All right. All right. How is everyone today? Oh, I just finished like a video and I'm like super hyped up from that. I'm super hyped to see you guys. So Ryan Perez, yeah, I put a tweet out yesterday. A friend of mine, he's worth over 9 figures. So $100+ million. And you know, I told you guys this. I talk about this. I'm counting all my money. Let me just count it a few times. Oh, 100, 2, yeah. You know, it's interesting to hang out with people that are rich because then you don't have to get rich yourself. Just go hang out with rich friends. Like, what's the point of getting rich when you can just have them spend all the money and you just get to enjoy it for free? Tom Nash. Hey, Jacob, I think we're organizing something with Tom Nash. How are you guys? Hello, Ricardo. Hey, I'm in Austin too, my man. Make sure you come over to the YouTube world. I'm going to bring on Spencer and Spencer, don't be restless. I got you. Just got to like warm up the crowd. I'm like the fluffer right here to get everybody hyped up for you. So if you guys are in YouTube or Facebook world, come over to youtube.com/OKDork. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Mitchell, where am I going? Send me some link. I got to go to Zencaster. We're trying some recording to be able to reuse some of these clips. Dude, tell me some good shit that happened to you guys this week. Let's get that started. What are your W's? What are your wins of the week? Throw some of those in the comments. I'll throw them up here. He made $125 this week. Awesome. Diana, got to collect with you too. Edwin, what's up, homie? Dude, I am like extra nasally. Oh, Bryce is in Galveston. Guys, Galveston is literally the worst beaches in the world. If you want to see what like when God was like, I want to make a shitty beach, he made Galveston's beaches. Dieter, good to see you, homie. Dude, yeah, my $3 flex. Ugh. Oh, shnikes. Is anyone... Oh, how's my thing doing? Damn, I'm still in line for it. I'm trying to, dude, you know how this, some of these people are so weird. I'm trying to buy these like NBA Top Shots. Remember what I talked about last week with NFTs? So I'm in line. I'm like such a loser sometimes. I'm trying to buy a pack of cards. Let me show it to you guys. Can you guys see it on screen? Yeah, you can see it there. So I'm trying to get these cards. I don't know. I find it kind of fun. So I'm 65,000 in line to get these cards. Oh, that's why this shit's so slow, because the stream. Stop that shit. Who else is here? Underdogs in the house. Evil Dead Gaming is here. Bryce Larson. Dude, you guys had some good-ass weeks. James O'Donnell's had some daddy daycare. That means he was taking care of me. We did some weird stuff together, James. You know that thing that you like? Eric Lee. Dude, Eric Lee has been on a roll. I'm glad that he's sticking with his Twitter thing. Good for you, my man. Can you come to Austin? Okay, let's let the audience decide. Mike Brown said, can I come over to Austin and hang out with us? One, the fact that you have Special Force Ranger Airborne makes me scared of you. I don't want to say any shit that like offends you and you're like, oh yeah, fuck you, no, I'm gonna kill you. That part I don't like. But if the audience says you should come over and hang, then we'll do it. Dude, you guys had good weeks. Alexis confirmed 3 speaking gigs. Did anyone else, like, is anyone else getting shitted on in the market? Dude, Pramod got 17,000 subs. Hell yeah. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Tynan. Good to see you, my brother. Dude, Ryan made $2,000 today, and he wrapped a few AppSumo deals for his customers as a free perk. I like this guy. Ryan, make sure you apply to our Underdogs group. It's free. You help other people. It's for people willing to do work. okdork.com/underdogs. It's a Slack group. Dieter is the leader of it with Ashley. I'm honestly shocked at how helpful this group is. It's amazing. These are like some of the most impressive, just how much they're helping each other. It honestly blows me away. Mitchell, I've joined the recording on this Zencaster thing in the background. So yeah, I want to see Ryan Perez come join this. Oh, Nicholas, what is up, homie, from Switzerland? By the way, if you're brand new here, can you throw a 1 in the comments? If you're brand new, if this is your first office hours. Tynan is. I love seeing Tynan here. That's like what you say when you put me to sleep. When you put me in like a sleeper hold and you're like, oh, don't be scared, bro. It's night time. Right? That's yeah. Dude, how many people are brand new here? Why not so nasally? Oh, Mike Brown won the laptop from us. So by the way, guys, when we do giveaways, we actually give it away. My mom always is fucking texting me. You said you give it away. Did you give it away? So Mike Brown is one of the guys that got one of our laptops. Who else here is brand new? Spencer Scott. That was interesting. So he sent me $100 in Venmo because we're going to be taking over one person's business. Maybe Spencer's. So that was a good way of getting my attention. Good job, man. We need more buying businesses. Yes. That's been an experience. I'm curious to kind of follow up on that video. Hey, Chantel. Chantel is on fire, man. This woman is impressive. Women are always more impressive than men. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. So a few first-timers here. First-time follower, long-time caller. All right. So as the crowd is all warmed up, pretty warmed up, and if you're a returning person, can you guys throw some yeehaws in the comments? All right, Spencer, I got to get the questions ready. Guys, you're in for a treat. This is so throw some yeehaws in the comments. I'm pulling out my questions on Spencer. Dude, I just got to show off some of these people. So many cool. You guys, check out Alex's video, how he hacked Millionaire. And Alex, it's multimillionaire, but probably not for long after you take all my fucking money. That video is good, dude. Really great video. Hold on, there's someone brand new from Austin. Who is there? Susan. Susan was like, this is crazy. So I tried to buy a house and Susan was the realtor. And then I was like, hey, but you should subscribe to my YouTube channel. Sometimes you guys fucking miss that point, by the way, where like I still go one by one. Like if I'm at lunch and I'm like, hey, do you do YouTube? They're like, yeah. I'm like, subscribe to my channel right now. And then I make sure they hit the notification bell. So like I still go one by one. So Susan, so amazing to see you here. Trauma Char, RJ Youngling. Dude, RJ Youngling is like We're gonna be in a like an Italian gang movie. I'm gonna be the mob boss, and you're gonna be my right hand man. I'm like, yo, RJ, that guy. Night time. Who else is here? William McConnell, thank you for what your work is. Raphael, Andre, Ricky. All right, guys. So we have someone. I got to go on his channel, and I've been following his channel. Probably how active I've been following his channel? Maybe at least the last 6 months. And he has done some really interesting things. This guy, very similar to a lot of you, wanted to start his own business, got involved in real estate stuff, and has a lot of experience now, kind of like dissecting a lot of these gurus, including myself, and has had a lot of insights into that. So I want you guys all to throw Spencer's name in the comments. We're going to bring on my buddy Spencer. Is it Cornelia? Saying it right. Spencer, I'm going to bring you on. All right, here's Spencer.
What up? I'm here.
Hey, all right, guys, throw some Spencers in the comments. And make sure you go subscribe to his channel. It's just your name, right?
Yeah, Spencer Cornelia.
Oh, shit. I got to mute this. Hold on.
There was an echo effect.
There was, because I had the other tab live.
But the question for you, Noah, I wore this shirt on purpose. Do you feel like a champion today?
Okay, when I think of champion, I think of elementary school and my mom buying my underwear. Like, that's the brand. That's what I think of when I think of like the champion brand. Do I feel like a champion today? No, not particularly.
I listened to the song Champion by Kanye West right before this, one of my favorite songs of all time. So I feel like a champion. Is
that what you do to like get pumped up?
Yeah. Well, you're in here like a comedy set. I got to match the energy. It looks like you haven't gone to sleep since like you did a comedy tour last night and you're still in the zone.
Yeah, I was gonna do some like drug references, but we don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just fun. Like, it's on Friday. Like, you know, we did a live with your audience this week actually. Dude, there's oh man. Okay, a lot of people. Do you guys have jokes or comments you want to? This guy said you look like Evan Spiegel's brother. That's good. That's good.
That's pretty good.
Fatima said, so cute. She checked out your channel.
Woohoo! All right. I need some more
here,
women. My audience is like all men.
Dude, my audience is all amazing people. I swear to God, straight up, I don't know how I got so lucky to hang out with all these other people. They're smart as shit. They're all really, really nice, and they help each other. It's just like, I don't know. It's fun as fuck to like interact with all of them. What, dude? They all love you, man. They all say, what up, what up, what up. More sleep. Women are here. Anna is a boss lady.
All right.
All right, my man. So who is Spencer? What else did I miss in the intro that you'd like the audience and the future people of the web to know?
I'm awesome. I don't know. I don't answer that question well at all. Like, who are you? Or tell me about yourself. I don't do well with that.
I don't know. I was on a date about a month ago, and we were in my hot tub, and she's like, Noah, who are you? I was like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say?
My mind goes into a flow chart. It's like, do you want to know my personality? Do you want to know what I do as a career? Do you want to know my interests? Do you want to know my beliefs? Like, I don't know how to answer.
I don't know. It's just such a weird ass question. I was like, well, I know I don't want to do a second date with you. No, I'm
as you're in the hot tub, you're cold, man. By the way, so you have a couple people that are here that one thing I've always wanted is I've wanted to go somewhere with bodyguards. Like, just to see how people would react. Like, this would be a fun YouTube video where you go around with like 3 or 4 guys just much bigger than you, and it's very clear that they're your security detail.
Okay, do you want to hear a crazy story?
I do.
Okay, so one, if we come to Vegas, we'll do it in person. So
yes.
About what was it? This is about 3 years ago. It was me and Neville. So if you guys don't know Neville Medora, copywriting course, he's an amazing YouTuber, one of my best friends. So he dressed like a sheik. Like an Indian, like a Middle Eastern sheik. So full garb, right? And then me, my buddy Spencer, but the 3 of us dressed in suits, and we bought fake earpieces.
Nice.
Right? And so Neville's in his like, you know, I don't know how to Indian garb, like, what is an Indian garb? Like this? Something like that. So we go to 6th Street in Austin, and like we go to some of these parties. Like we went to one club, like Oil Can Henry's? And people are partying with the sheik. People are like, the sheik is here, and he's like doing like this kind of dancing. You can't see it, but he's going fucking, and it's awesome, right? So we're like, this is so crazy. I can't believe. So to your idea, we actually did that. We walk out of the club, and we start leaving the club. And so like, you know, me and the other guys are like, sheik is on the move. You know, the Eagle has left the building. And I will tell you though, 2 guys came up to the sheik, and we're like, hey man, we were in Iraq. We don't fucking like you here. Like, this is bullshit. Like you need to fucking take this shit off. We don't want to see this in our country. This is in Austin. Wow. And so me and the security guards at first we're like, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Please tell me you stepped in character.
We stayed in character, but then after a while we're like, dude, it's a joke. Like, this is it's not actually a real sheik. He's a joke. It was interesting to see like the level of racism and just like the interaction that like these guys brought, which it's okay for them to have a like, hey, who are you? What are you trying to do? But like they came like super aggressive with that. It's definitely uncomfortable. It was when like I think things were a little bit more tense with us in foreign country, like the Middle East. But dude, that was a little bit much.
It's interesting how quickly you can convince someone that you're someone you're not, right? All it took was an outfit. He probably didn't act much differently. I'm assuming like he's probably, I know who you're talking about. I've seen like one of his blog posts and he seems like a very fun, like kind of sarcastic kind of guy. But he probably didn't have to act that much different. It just the outfit and the scenario of people around him gave people this perception, immediate perception that he's the sheik. But did you go around with, you probably didn't have to go around with, he's rich and famous, or, he's worth $100 million where he's from. It's just a simple outfit.
That's actually really fascinating.
And this is also an interesting thought. We brought it up on the last chat we did. And you mentioned like, what would change if money entered into your account tomorrow? Like if $10 million entered your account tomorrow, like what would be different? Would you wake up? So what is really different if your bank account has just a different one in front of your current digits? Yeah. Like how would that change you? It's a really fascinating thought because and then you realize that most of it is all mental.
It's interesting just by what you wear, how people can perceive it. So this guy, by wearing they're telling me it's a sheikh, not a chic outfit. Like people literally aggressively came to him as well. We were able to skip lines to get in the clubs because he had bodyguards and like he was in this outfit that made him look like some celebrity or some, kind of rich, Arab type person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess in general, it's funny that the clothes, like, what did you think after our last conversation? Like what stuff stuck with you?
I was fascinated by talking to you about just lifestyle stuff. I noticed how a lot of the people in the comments noticed too, and that is you're like very easygoing. Like it seems like very little shakes you. I was also interested that you said that you didn't have any problems. I don't know if that's true. Like I'd be curious, like you have to have some problems in life. You have to have something that like you haven't been able to solve.
I don't know. I guess it just doesn't seem like it's not solvable. Like, let me show you today. I showed it last week because it's just so damn wild, but like my kitchen.
Like one of my problems is I'd love to date Ana de Armas, one of the most famous Hollywood actresses. And this is a, it's a problem that's not solvable at the moment.
Okay, hold on. So for everyone in the audience, what are some of the problems that you have solved? So Neil tells me to sit because I'm tired. So I'm a little tired. Like I'm like kind of on one, but we're gonna go through all this. Oh, Anna, I love you. Would I want my hair back? That's not a problem. It's not a problem. I mean, I think a problem I face if I think about it is like, I think there's times where I guilt myself or don't accept myself for just being the way I am. So for example, like straight up, like I've been drinking and I'll drink and then be like, oh, you're such a bad person. And not just be like, hey, you had fun. That was it. It's something, it's kind of a strange self-punishment of sorts that doesn't really make sense because it's not extremes. But it's just, I can't accept myself with some of these things. So that's something I'm working through.
Yeah. Like I watched one of your videos. You talked about going to Tony Robbins and leaving. And there was some stuff there in the video.
Oh, about Tony Robbins?
Yeah, no, for you going to the event, like if you go to Tony Robbins, you're generally going to not fix something, but you're going to possibly find a solution.
So when I went to Tony Robbins specifically, dude, that was like 3 years ago. I was looking to find out why my relationships haven't worked. Like, what are the patterns of things I'm doing incorrectly? And then I was going to figure out why I don't enjoy my work. And I'm curious your problem. Okay, so you want to get with this like supermodel or this super famous person.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Hold on, who is this? Well,
she was Ben Affleck's girlfriend, but she broke up with him because she's interested in this YouTuber.
What's her name?
Ana de Armas. She's Cuban. Ana de Armas.
Here's a thought I'm wondering for you if you felt this way. I think when I went to Tony Robbins, and for most of the audience that shows up for these office hours or watches the content, do you think that most people know the answers?
I think life is always the pursuit of finding the answers.
Is it? I don't know. I guess
so.
because I would challenge that a little bit. I think there's things like a skill, like, you know, ping pong, or like Alex, he's doing video editing, or you're doing something like writing, where it's a skill you're crafting. But I would almost challenge the thought that I think for some of these harder problems, like life problems, like for me, work and relationships, do I actually know the answer, but I'm not willing to accept it? So for my work, I don't know for you with, you know, what, so I'm curious your problem besides dating Anna, but for me at that time, that work stuff, I knew the answers, or I had ideas of the answers. I just wasn't willing to be okay with it.
Got it. I actually am curious for you. Did you ever have a moment where you didn't feel like you'd be successful financially?
I'll tell you, the way I think about it, I don't know if this is going to sound strange. I feel like all of my money has been earned hard. Like every time I'm like, oh, it's finally going to be easy money, it doesn't fucking happen. And I'm like, so I hung out this weekend with a guy who's worth over 100 million. And I was like, it's so easy. He just did it. But like, I've never had it easy. And it's like, I'm sure it wasn't easy for him either.
Right.
And so I guess I've always felt like the money was a hard earn. It was a grind. It was a fucking like long ass grind. But
which is why you probably appreciate it more. That's probably why you have less problems. See, if it was easy, I would imagine the problems would be exacerbated by drug or alcohol use, or some type of other. Like this is my theory on Hollywood. Like a lot of these, it's like cliche. Like the celebrities turn to, like, you can see the people who get the fast wealth early, why they generally turn to things that we deem as like irresponsible or drug use and whatnot. I think it's because the money came too easy and they have to chase that high elsewhere because it came too easy. And so they turn to the only thing that can give you that high that easily, which is drugs.
I don't know. My friend today we were talking about heroin usage, and he was saying that only 5% of people that do drugs are addicted. So, but I think what your point though, with this though, it's not like you get some highs from these certain things and you're like, oh, I want more of that, you know, that bump. I guess, you know, coming to back to yourself though, what are your problems?
Right now, one of my biggest issues is financial. I'm in debt. But two, I have this desire to become a successful businessman. Like I respect people like you so much more than most other areas because I know how hard it is just to go from 0 to 1 in any business endeavor. And so for me, I'm in this point where I've tried a lot of things and I failed at them. And so I only really have one success, and that is I have like a little bit of real estate success and then YouTube success. So I have like something there to be confident in myself, but it's really challenging when I'm not built like an entrepreneur. That's why like I look at guys like you and you're like an alien. It's like, how do you have these skills? How do you have this ability to just like want to go do it? You know, for me, it's like I seek stability. I was raised to be 9 to 5. I was raised to like not pursue entrepreneur endeavors. So one of my biggest issues is closing that gap where it's like, here's this entrepreneur dude who can just like go do it. And here's where I'm at, who seeks stability and has failed at everything. Like it's tough mentally when it's like, you don't have that first initial success. And so bridging that gap, I just need like a win. And I'd love to start a successful business. I don't have that wiring in my brain like you do. And so it's a real challenge for me to really try and push forward and find that, if that makes sense.
As your business guru, I would say more, I'd like to think of myself as a business cheerleader, to be honest. Do you not think the fact that you've created a YouTube channel that's helped a lot of people, called out a lot of scammers, and done that actually some level of success?
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned it. So I have YouTube is a little successful. What's that?
You didn't. You're like, I'm not success.
Well, no. I'm saying I have like a little bit of real estate success and YouTube has been successful. So I have like something to point to. But I don't view this as a business. I view this as a creative hobby that happened to kind of grow and I'm able to make money off of it.
What's the difference between where that is and where you are now?
Well, I was thinking, this is another thing I thought about with you. Like you really treat this like a business in the sense that you hire people, you have a good team around you, and you treat it like a business structure. I'm an amateur, the way you put it, which I agree with.
I don't mean it to be I don't mean it as a critical thing. I just make it as like, how serious are you taking it? So like,
well, it's all I do.
So you're taking it seriously. What do you mean? What part of it are you treating it like an amateur?
Well, in the sense that it's just like a hobby. Like I put some videos out online and it makes some money. My goal is to be in a position like you have it, where you've got a team because I also view that like a business as opposed to.
Hold on, you're confusing me. So you're taking it seriously or you're not taking it seriously?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking it seriously. It's all I do.
So how is that treating it like an amateur?
I don't know. Maybe we're getting into semantics here.
No, I think I don't think it's semantics. You're like, hey, it's amateur, but then I'm taking it seriously. I think what's fascinating, I've talked about this a little bit. So one of my best friends is Andrew Chen. He's like a famous VC now, and he's huge on Twitter and all this shit. Andrew's with, a lot of money, and he's invested in Clubhouse. He was the first investor in Clubhouse. He was the first, one of the early investors, HitCamp and Substack, all these, he's going to do very well for himself. Andrew is still working. Still working hard. And, there's something about when is it finally there, but like it takes work and finding work that frankly you just enjoy doing. So I think, Tynan just actually commented this. It's like you got to some level of success where you're like, oh, this is not it. It's this next thing. And I'll tell you, dude, how old are you? You're 20?
I'm 30.
You're 30? Looking great, man.
Oh, thanks.
Make sure your lotion. Are you putting on sunblock every day or lotion?
No.
Oh.
That's the key?
Whoa. Yeah. You got to be doing the sunblock, especially in Vegas, man. I'll send you, text me your address and I'll send you a Neutrogena stick. Dude, they're phenomenal, game changers. I've been lotioning for about 15 years. Yeah. I met this guy on The Apprentice, true story. We were having breakfast and he's like, Noah, if I can teach you anything out of this like 1 hour of breakfast, just make sure you put on lotion. And that was 15 years ago. And I've been lotioning every day since. Okay.
I got plenty of like moisturizer and lotion. I could put some on.
Moisturizer, lotion, and then sunblock. You got to put on the sunblock. Otherwise, look at this. You can see I didn't really sleep well last night, but it's a sunblock that, and I do collagen. I have more to it, but
you've got a routine.
Dude, it's like, I think one of the things that I want to share with everyone, you Spencer, but like literally everyone in the audience is I think very similar to you. They're like, hey, I have a business. It's going well. I want it to keep doing better. So I think one part of it is also just being happy with where you are. Dude, you have a 100,000 person plus YouTube channel. That is now that I've got one as well, it is fucking hard.
It is.
Unless I'm doing like dick picture giveaways or I'm doing like, Latin songs, growing an audience of business-minded people is very challenging. So I think you should be a little bit more proud of yourself for that, not gloat and just, rest on it. The other thing, I was thinking about this week for myself. I was thinking about Jamie Foxx. And I was I hung out with him, which was crazy. I hung out at his house in LA.
Yeah, singing on the piano.
Oh, dude, that was unbelievable. That was such a cool life experience. But this week I was in Puerto Rico. And I was thinking about Jamie Foxx, and the thing that I specifically thought about is, what do I wish I could start today that I'll thank myself at the end of the year? Because think about Jamie Foxx. This guy was a backup basically on In Living Color, and now he's a global superstar. And the reality with a lot of these things, like I talked to this other guy, is that these things that are success take a fucking long time. So I was just selfishly thinking for myself, and I thought about the audience, like the underdogs that are here. And I'm curious for you, is that what could you do today so you would thank yourself at the end of the year?
Yeah, one thing is certainly increase the output. So I'm happy this week. I think you mentioned what's a win for the week while I was backstage. I released 3 videos this week, and I think they were all quality content for my audience, and so I was proud of that because it's really hard to hit that level of output for what I do.
Hold on. So some of the guys want to hear about the skin regimen.
Please tell me you've been late to a date because of your beauty routine.
I'm generally a few minutes late to everything, like probably about 2 minutes. So I mean, sleep, water is really important. We can do a whole nother thing. I'd rather focus on some other stuff with you. It's interesting. Was it after we chatted that you were like, hey, I'm going to go a little bit more serious with the YouTube?
No, February was a dick punch, man. Like February, my subs were down. Everything was down 70% because for whatever reason, the algorithm didn't love me. And I don't know if that's a temporary dip. Like if you look at Social Blade and follow different channels, they have rises and falls. It's very wavy to be on YouTube, but I don't know if it was ever this extreme. So I'm a little concerned that this was basically, I found out that YouTube was throttling a lot of my videos. So about 25 to 30 videos were in what are called restricted mode, which is they're probably not applicable to all audiences. And I cut out all cursing. I don't curse. I don't know what it could have been. They don't give you a notification or anything. And so finding that out made me really worried that, I mean, it is the cliche, when you're on someone else's platform, you're at the mercy of their rules. Well, when your numbers drop 70%, but yet, in my opinion, I feel like the videos they're better thumbnails, titles, and I felt like my content has actually improved. I've been working on my humor and adding in like little entertainment quips into it because I've noticed that plays really well on YouTube. And so I was really proud of what I did in February and what I was able to put out. And the response was a 70% drop in everything. And my income was only at $3,900, which it was kind of like a jolt, if you will. So now I'm going to put more energy into it. But also I'm thinking of possible ways to like grow outside of YouTube.
So 2 questions here, and I think this is something that a lot of the people in the audience can relate to. And then I have 3 specific questions I want to make sure we get to today. But how do you keep going when you're alone?
I work really well in isolation. I'm a very isolated dude. Yeah, very independent. And I actually find, like, whenever I found it within myself, like I'm very self-aware. Whenever I get rejected at anything, I turn to isolation for long periods of time, and I'm very comfortable with it.
You don't have like, I don't know, I guess I'm the opposite to some extent. Like when like when I got fired by Facebook, I went and lived on my friend's couch, Johnny Lamb, for like a week or 2. And then when shit's like happening, like maybe sometimes I'm going too much to other people. I just wonder if it would help you to have somewhat of an outlet or support. Like, so for appsumo.com, straight up, without Andrew Chen, without Chad Boyda, the company would probably not be it would maybe not even be a 6-figure company. It may not even still be in business.
Wow.
I'm not saying tying it. I'm not saying about working alone. I'm just saying that, like, literally, I was thinking about it this week, and I'm gonna do handwritten notes to them. That's what I think is like more thoughtful. Just how can having that support change the trajectory of your life and your business? So like, this is now an 8-figure company because of those 2 guys. There's a bunch of other things, and the people that are here also, but like literally those 2 guys changed the trajectory of this company. Like Chad and I, my business partner, he quit one day. I was being a bitch. And so he quit, and I called Andrew Chen, and he's like, do whatever it takes to get him back right now.
Oh, wow.
This was 10 years ago. And I did whatever it takes to get him back. And the company would not be 8 figures without Chad. And eagles fly alone. You're so funny, Fatima. And the same thing with, having Chad here, like so many decisions that, like, I went and walked around India for a month. Yeah, this is like a few years. I go through like waves of depression. Like every maybe 2-3 years, I'll like get some emo shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Can you go travel?
What's that?
Can you go travel to India?
I went to India to walk around to find myself. And I always think of the Austin Powers quotes, like, hey, wherever you are, hey there, do I know you? No, but there you are. It's like, you're just the same person wherever you are.
True.
But I guess my point is, I wonder if you having someone at a higher level or similar level to go to, like Ryan Panetta or someone, you're like, yo, my shit's down 70%. Like, I need a little bit of I know you want to be isolated, but you might actually even blossom more having someone around you.
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't have that. I don't have a solution for you yet. But I have been networking with pretty awesome people. So I'm very thankful that I have people in my circle.
Do you have like a WhatsApp group for them?
No.
Do you do WhatsApp or text? I'm just do whatever the fuck you want. I just think that might be helpful. Like, I have a WhatsApp group with like these rich people, like David Hauser from Grasshopper, and Tynan's in it. A few of these other guys. It is fucking helpful, man. Like, I'm like, hey, here's something I'm thinking about. And it's like the smartest people financially and just as good guys are like being able to give me advice. And you can have it too.
It's a good idea. I like it.
Something to think about. Because a lot of people here are solo, man. I'll tell you, having people around you, that's how we fucking, I mean, we're social creatures. Like, you came out of 2 people. You didn't come out of, well, I guess now people are coming out of 1.
It's actually been proven through studies that isolation is one of the worst or the most detrimental effects to the human psyche and soul and health is isolation.
Are you hearing yourself?
I know. I know.
That's like, hey, Noah, I know that masturbating is really bad, so I'm doing it all the time.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm curious about, then I want to go into some of the stuff that you talk a lot about in your channel. And guys, make sure you're all subscribed to Spencer's channel. I'm subscribed. I like it. One thing I was talking about in breakfast this morning and we were going into is like, where's our advantage? So I was talking with Andrew Chen, and you guys, I'll put Andrew Chen. You should all check him out on Twitter. I think it's Twitter/Andrew Chen. Is that it? Andrew's like, his stuff is awesome. Yeah, Andrew Chen. So go follow, everyone should follow Andrew. And so we were talking about crypto. And he was like, and this is the part was interesting. I think this is very relevant for you too. He's like, I don't have an advantage in crypto, but I like that. I have an advantage in investing in startups because he's in Silicon Valley. He's a public person. He has access to Clubhouse. He has access to Substack. He has access to these deals that me, don't have. Crypto, everyone has. So my thought with you specifically, and I think this is true for a lot of the people out there, you have an advantage on YouTube right now.
Yes.
You don't have, this is not to be hurt your feelings. You don't have an advantage in real estate. And maybe you do that, I don't know, but you have a big advantage in this YouTube world that not actually a lot of people have. So I feel like, hey, I want to go away from YouTube. I feel like I keep pushing you, like, what if you 10x down on YouTube? And
so the thing with YouTube, I already spend, like, part of the isolation is this, it's just what's required to make my videos. And so in order to make the videos that I've been putting out, it requires like a lot of in-depth research, a lot of in-depth like thought, especially recently, because I'm not naturally funny. And so to write the scripts to add like the humorous quips that I've been adding recently, it's really challenging for me, which is, it's actually a fun challenge because it's unlocking a part of my personality that is there, but I have to like dig deep and find it. And so I don't know how, like, there is no more spending more time. This is the only thing that matters to me. Like with YouTube, it really is the only thing that matters. So this is my maximum energy towards this.
Sometimes you confuse me. So, because you just mentioned earlier that you were going to leave YouTube or do other things.
No, not leave YouTube. But once I'm out of debt, I'm going to pursue real estate.
Why don't you just take YouTube to the next level and then you could buy whatever house you want?
Well, I don't know what taking to the next level means. Like right now I'm putting, like February was putting a lot of effort into it and my numbers were down 70%. Like if this becomes a trend, I don't know how else I grow YouTube.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reduce my output, by the way. I'm just gonna start partnering with people.
It's more of like attention and like one of the things we talk about at AppSumo a lot is whatever we're focused on is going to grow. So if you're focused on a bunch of little things, like, and maybe you're not, maybe it sounds like you're doing most YouTube, but if you do and get distracted with that, none of them are going to do really well. But if you put all of that just into the YouTube thing, I think you could definitely be one of the top business YouTubers.
Which is funny because I'm not much of a business guy, but no, it's just February was such a stomach punch. Like I don't know how you what's that?
My mom watches this, by the way.
Kid show. I don't know how else I grow it further. My point is that if this becomes a trend where my numbers are where they are, this isn't worth my time. Like to make $3,900 a month, I need other income sources. And so I'm looking to partner with people, by the way. I'm not looking to like leave YouTube. What I'm saying is when I say real estate, I mean possibly partner with others where I become the money guy.
How much do you actually need a month to be making?
For what?
For everything. I don't know. You said, hey, it's not enough. Well, how much do you need a month?
I want to get rich, Noah.
Well, how much is rich?
$155 million. I don't know.
So
I don't know what rich is.
You guys, and everyone who's here should check out Tynan.com. He's in the chat. Tynan and I talk about this a lot because I think where I got stuck when I was in my 20s was like, I need all this money. And then I made all the money and then I couldn't even spend the money. So like one of the things I'm working on is giving it away to people like in our shows or just spending it on myself. Like I bought a nice watch, you know?
Yeah, I'll give you a serious answer. There isn't a dollar figure. It's more of, I want to have this stability where I can start, where I can release myself from this need to put out YouTube videos or need to go make money. And I don't know what that number is.
Let's calculate that fucking number. So how much is that?
It would probably be somewhere in the $3,000 to $5,000 a month range, truly passive.
Hold on, so 3 to 5. So work with me here, so let's just say, so is it 3,000 or 5,000? Because you're already ahead of that.
Somewhere in, what I'm saying is passive.
Okay, I don't want to get into the passive stuff. Let me pitch a world to you.
Okay.
So if you could get your YouTube channel right now, it's at 3,900. Is that normal, or what's your normal monthly revenue?
Yeah, no, my normal has been 6,000 to 9,000.
69.
6 to 9,000 in that range.
All right, so
let's call it 7,500. Let's just call it 7,500 for what.
Let's say 7,500. So your channel's gonna come back. Just like this is the shit you can't. AppSumo, and I swear to God, one of the only reasons now that the company I think has done so well is because Eamon has stuck with it when we thought it was boring and dead. So just because you have one dick punch month, this is the moment that's defining of like, hey, I got dick punched, but my dick bounced back, and I stuck with it. And it comes back, dude. But that's the part where it really separates the like successful people from the like, hey, I'm gonna go blame other people. I'm not saying you're doing that.
Right.
But let me pitch you an idea though. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm all ears.
You want to be passive. You want it to be passive income, yes?
Yeah, I want some form of passive income.
Okay. So unlike you personally, I want to do YouTube for free. I like the attention. I like interaction with the audience, all the shit. It's fun for me. And I like it to meet people like you. Do you want to do YouTube still? Is that something that you get, yes or no?
Yes, 100%.
So you don't actually want it to be passive income.
Okay, the discrepancy is what I'm saying is I would like to have passive income from real estate so that I can have that relationship with YouTube like you do, where it's a lot more free.
Well, because you don't feel as obligated that it has to make the money.
Yes, exactly.
I guess where I was going to pitch you and present something to you is that like you're like let go of this real estate shit. but I guess you're not making enough cash on that on the YouTube stuff yet. But here was my thought: is it not possible that you could hire someone to do the videos for you?
That's tough, man. This is where I'm not like good at business because I don't trust anyone. Like I find it very troubling to like hire someone to do this for. I don't know. Maybe there's someone out there that can do it, but the thing with YouTube though is then I'm basically doing this for free. If I hire someone,
dude, all business is one. We're on a tiny planet. Does anyone else not think about this? We're on a fucking planet in space, and like we're like deciding what things we want to spend our time on. So it's all kind of subjective, and it's like, well, what's the best, most rewarding use of that time? But if you don't necessarily want to do YouTube, you can take $2,000 a month, find someone in Vegas, like go on, look on actors, and then have them make all the videos. Like that's all business is. Like I've hired a bunch of people that run all that shit, so I don't have to do it, and then I get paid.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. So I don't like you saying that you don't trust anyone.
I trust issues.
Whenever you buy a dark black jacket, just let me know. Like I just want to stay away.
No, I don't know what I'd outsource because like I don't mind the editing part. The editing part is actually pretty easy to me. It's the writing the script and like finding the oomph with the videos that makes the channel me. I don't know how to outsource that.
I mean, okay, when you watch my videos, the videos on the Noah Kagan channel, how much do you think I write of those scripts?
I would estimate almost none, maybe less than 10%.
But does it not sound like me?
Yeah, it's good.
I think it's great. I think our team's great. It sounds just like what I would talk about, but that wasn't immediately. It was that me and the team work on the scripts a lot, and we're still working on the scripts so that there's calibration. But that's the only way we can make a channel that can create more content. Right. By having people that do that. That's the same. Like people think it's so funny. I was just looking at a Travis Scott song, A-Team. It's a good song, A-Team. It's like a pump up song. Mm-hmm. If you go look at the writing, he didn't even write the song.
Yeah.
I was like, Travis, how could you do this? You lied to all of us.
The music industry.
Passive income is created through either software or hiring people. There is some, like I have Airbnbs and I have like dividends and some of that shit. But I think like the massive money comes from a business where you're hiring people that can then scale that business without a limited upside.
Yeah, no, understood for sure.
So I guess how does that relate to we're going to go into your content and the things you do, but like, how does that relate maybe to how you can scale your YouTube as a business? That's what I think that when I'm saying amateur versus professional, it's like an amateur like puts out videos inconsistently. An amateur is not consistent with their content. An amateur doesn't hire people to then help them function as a business. And that's okay if they don't want it to be a business.
Yeah. I don't know how I'd replace me because I'm so freaking talented, Noah.
Attaboy. I think the audience can give you some suggestions, or if you want, like, how do you think you could?
Well, one thing is for sure hiring out the editing. Like that's for sure one thing that can happen. That's great. That's more of a time. That's a time saver.
Yeah. Go on.
That'd be the only thing though.
Dude, I'm gonna just highlight this comment because this is how I feel about you a little bit. Can you see the comment?
Yeah.
I feel like you have this, and I honestly, a lot of us do. You're not unique in this, that we all have some limit. Everybody. We have this some limit of certain aspects of our lives for some fucking reason. I'm tired of everyone blaming their parents, by the way. Parents have fucking tough jobs, and they're doing their best. But I feel like you're like, you put this like anvil on your leg, so as you're climbing, you're like, fuck. It's like you're staying in the same place because you just keep weighing yourself down.
That could be.
I wonder.
We all have blind spots.
What's that?
We all have blind spots.
Oh, dude, that's why I have friends around. That's why I was talking about Andrew Chin and Chad and all these.
Yeah, to point them out, poke and prod.
Yeah, so I'm guessing for you, my man, like, what would life be if you're like, hey, I hired these people? Like, maybe run me through like a dream scenario with this. Hey, I have my YouTube channel. I'm working all day. It makes this much money. Walk me through the end of the year. It's December 31st.
And things went well.
What's that?
And things went well, is what you're saying. So walk me through a scenario.
Work backward from that.
Yeah.
So as exact as possible.
Yeah. So here's the perfect scenario. So by the end of the year, I want to get into the 450 to 600 price range for a house here in Vegas, which is a nice like 4 or 5 bed house in a nice neighborhood, gated community. I'd love to get another one of those, get roommates to fill the house, and then I'd have 2 rental properties basically, and then my monthly income would be set at that point. And then I'd be able to do YouTube full time and not be as tied to the algorithm like I am today. That would be a huge jump in just life satisfaction, in happiness, I guess, if you will. That would be huge.
So you'd have 2 houses in Vegas. How much are they making? How much are they making for you a month?
When I move out of this current house, I'll be cash flowing roughly $2,300 a month.
So you want to make $4,600 a month with 2 houses?
Yeah, that'd be a good number, somewhere in there, 3,000, 4,000.
Because right now and then your YouTube, you'd just do full time, make videos on YouTube.
Yeah, nothing really would change. I would still be doing YouTube full time. It would just I would have another rental property.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fatima is telling you to join. I would recommend come join us on Slack so that when you're alone and you want some support and you want people kind of pushing you, go and apply here. And then Fatima and all these other people are going to help you out.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah. So do okdork.com/underdogs. Let's do that. Number 1. I guess the reason I asked that is I do it for myself. The same thing we were talking about is like, what can I start today? So by the end of the year, I'll thank myself. Yeah. So it sounds like you can do you have 2 houses is one of them. And then the other is just getting YouTube to be less inconsistent.
Yeah. It's not so much that. It's like, I want real estate on the side. Like I've always wanted to be a real estate investor. And so my advantage in the real estate world in my niche is I rent by the room. I can manage it. I can handle it. I can also outsource it at some point. Like I can hire people and treat it like a business. So that's my advantage. And that to me has always been more stable than YouTube. Like real estate to me is as stable as anything, right? People have to live somewhere. And in Vegas, the population's exploding. Like this is a gold mine right now. Buying a house, 5-bed, renting by the room, cash flow, you're going to get appreciation long-term. This is like, I see it. It's a gold mine. I want in, baby.
One thing I don't understand is why don't you just rent the house and lock down the house and then rent out each rooms individually?
Like you were saying, where you lease it?
So for the audience, one thing I was encouraged, he's like, hey, I need to buy a house so that I can rent out each of the rooms and then cash flow. And I know you want the appreciation. I don't believe in appreciation. I just don't. So when I buy my properties, it's straight cash flow profit. So why not just secure like 2-year agreements and then give yourself like a 30-day option period. So if you can't get any of the rooms confirmed, then you don't have to worry about the house.
It's an interesting thought.
I don't know why is that not appealing? There's like less risk. You get like all the cash flow. You don't get the upside in the house, but who cares?
Yeah. I much prefer owning. I mean, the goal of real estate is to own instead of like skimping off a little cash flow at the top. Because here's the thing with the actual cash flow itself is fine, but what you get equity pay down, you get the cash flow, you get the tax incentives, and you get appreciation. There's 4 ways to make money when you own.
I think one of the things that was interesting hanging out with the $100 million guy this weekend was that he rents his place. And I said, why? He's like, well, because I can get better returns than elsewhere. So I think, Tynan and me are on the same team, which is just like everyone thinks real estate appreciation is like the only way to make money. And real estate's made the most millionaires out of any industry. But I guess the thing I'd wonder is buying it and doing what you're doing the best return? Or are there other things that you can get higher returns on?
Well, you spoke about it earlier. Where's your advantage? That is my advantage. I don't know crypto. I don't know the stock market. I don't know where else I would get.
Your advantage is that you can rent out rooms to like weird ass people in Vegas. That's what your advantage is. How do you? And you have like a pool of weird people that you can rent to?
The whole city's weird, man. At least our city doesn't have the tagline "Austin is weird."
Austin's not weird anymore. But what's your advantage in renting out these rooms?
Well, that you can get higher cash flow.
Yeah, but I don't understand what your advantage is. Like they could just post the house on the same place. It sounds like Craigslist or Zillow or Facebook to get these people.
Well, it does require more management, right? Not everyone wants to take on that task.
Audience, what do you think Spencer should be doing? I'm just curious. Everyone in the Underdogs, like all the community here, Golsay, Anna, Viking Marketer, Zigzags, all these weird names. What's up, Ronnie Christopher, Coding Nuggets? I'm curious what everyone thinks he should be doing. Because if I were you, like, can we swap lives?
Yeah, let's do it.
I wonder if you swap lives with me, you'd be like, yo, maybe I would appreciate my life more. I'd be like, I went and just hung out in Puerto Rico for 2 weeks, or I came home and like my house is fucked up, so I'm just leaving for another 3 weeks. I'm curious what the audience thinks. Yeah, but I think if I was in your life, I'm sorry, I'm in Vegas. I just worked out at 24 Hour Fitness.
Yeah, you go to the gym 6 times a week.
Yeah, GTL. Are you single?
I am.
You have any babes or any like dudes?
No.
What's good in your life? Tell me something like why I want Spencer's life.
I got a YouTube channel, man.
Got a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
All right, what else?
I got a bright future. That's
No,
what
I'm
I
not
have.
saying you don't have a bright future. Just tell me some cool shit. Like, you're like, you can do a bunch of push-ups.
I don't know. I'm pretty good at the gym. I can lift pretty heavy for
I can see you doing that well. Can you do a lot of pull-ups? I can see you being good at pull-ups.
Yeah, when I played baseball in college, one of our first workouts was you have to do 100 pull-ups as part of this like workout. So I've been good at pull-ups ever since.
Dude, how tall are you?
5'10".
So yeah, if you were 6'1", I would definitely swap lives. You got more hair than me, and you're younger, so I get 9 years back. All right, so we're going to the audience. I'm doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Phone your audience on your live stream. And my mom has been watching these live stream, which is cool. So she's like, Spencer, get back to work. Stop complaining.
My mom watches my stuff too, which is hilarious. She'll like text me, "Oh, great video. Oh, wonderful, Mom. I'm sure you love that joke I put in there."
All right, so here's all the people's answers. Tynan says YouTube for sure. Ayush says, don't do real estate. Oh, we out here. We got Joel. He's got that South slang. He's scared. You know, he's scared of stability. I think he wants stability.
Yeah, I'm actually the opposite. I want stability.
I think what Spencer you're highlighting about me is that I'm fortunate that we've created AppSumo over many years so that provides the cash flow. So this channel that we're running here, we are spending $1 million to run it this year without really having to worry that it makes money. And
yeah,
I think I'm taking for granted on your position where you're like, hey, I have 3,900 plus I have to pay rent plus I have debt. And if the YouTube changes this revenue, that's a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah. So one thing, I've been having fun with this conversation, but one thing that is hard to understand when you get in your position, there's certain things in life that you take for granted, or there's just a certain lifestyle that you have that's way different than someone in my position. I'm still like $30,000-$40,000 in debt. So I haven't had a car in a year and a half. What's that?
What's the debt from?
Sewage. I had an unexpected sewage fix in my house, and then I didn't pay taxes last year yet because I used all the money I was making to pay for the renovations at my house. And so I have sewage, and then I don't know how much I owe in taxes. My CPA is working on it now. But anyway, so when you're in debt, the only thing you want is to get out of debt. And so that's why I'm so tied to the algorithm. And I don't have this like free mind that you do. When I do get out of debt, I'll be back in a place where I'm going to be a lot different.
You make me feel that like when Jewish people are born, we just get born with money. Like I was born to like traditional boring parents. They're great parents, but they're very boring jobs. That was like when I was making $60,000 a year at Intel, they're like, you've hit the gold mine. But I think the thing I guess with the debt and that specifically, it's not that I've always had money. I've just always lived a very affordable life.
Yeah.
Like literally my mortgage now, which I think it's going to get higher. My mortgage today is $3,000 a month. My rent, what was my rent before? My rent before this was $2,000. And I'm just saying that like I've always had a very low cost lifestyle. So I haven't pressured myself to have to make money. I know Tynan is the same with that. So that's what it's not that I had so much that everything has been easy. Everything has been easier. It's just I've never had to feel like even AppSumo. I'll tell you, there's been times where I'm like, well, if we all go to shit, that we don't have to have a lot of cost besides the office to keep the business going.
Yeah. So I've always been frugal. Like before the flips, the house flips went wrong and yada. I was almost not a different person, but you do view the world differently than when you're straddled with debt. It's a totally different ballgame.
How do we get out of debt in the next like 30 days? Is this possible?
Yeah, it's going to happen. I'm only like two months away, by the way.
Sometimes I'm so confused by you, Spencer. You're like, the world is falling. And I'm like, hey, the world's falling. No, actually, I'm a millionaire. I'm like, well, which one is
it? I'm like 2 or 3 months away.
So you're 2 3 months away.
Yeah.
I was like so confused by you, dude. Is anyone else confused by this guy? Are you confused by yourself?
No.
Okay. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You're like, hey, I'm in debt. I'm all this pressure. And then I'm like, hey, well, what's your plan to get out of it? You're like, well, I'm going to be out of it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Okay.
I'm sharing with you how I feel in the moment.
I don't even, Spencer, who are you?
I don't know.
The people, dude, we all want you to succeed. I'm here to just talk about it.
Sure.
A lot of people, I'm curious if anyone in the audience, I'm curious how many people in the audience have debt as well. Because I do think that is a weight that I can't imagine what that's like, where you wake up and you're like, it puts so much pressure that you're like suffocating YouTube to have to work.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Okay.
It's all mental, by the way. It's just really hard to overcome.
But you're saying in 2 months it's over? Is that for sure?
Yeah. Well, as long as YouTube it keeps going. I mean, they could shut down my channel at any point. I get copyright strikes.
Let me ask a different question. Let's try something else. Oh wow! Yeah. So a lot of people have debt. I'm curious other people's psychology about how this debt thing impacts their days and so forth. So, what could something that me and the audience could do right now today that would help you the most? And then I'll go into the questions.
Watch the ads.
Click on the ads on the channel.
Run up the fake guru ad budgets.
Run our ad. Oh, so I should run ads on your channel. We spend about $1,000 a week on YouTube ads. So you want us to watch ads on your channel?
Yeah, that'll help big time.
Here's a thought for you. Can I just put out one? And sometimes I feel like you say no and then you say yeah. You're good at negotiating. Do you play poker?
No, I don't.
What else besides real estate, which I really think you need to let fucking go of?
Mm-hmm.
What else could you do to stabilize your income so it's more consistent? So let me give you an example. When we did AppSumo, we'd literally have days, like even now, we have days where we do $250,000 in a day, and then we'll have a day where we do 100,000, which it's a lot of money. But then you really drop. There's 80 people here. Our minimum a month now, I think, in terms of like offices and servers and salaries, is like $1 million minimum.
Right.
So if we don't make $1 million, we're fucked. And historically, when we had that, it was like, how do we stabilize our revenue so it's more predictable? So that's why we created a lot of our own products. So like we created King Sumo and SendFox and Tidy Cow, monthly 1K. And we did other things with figuring out which products work and so forth. But I guess for you, I was thinking you have a channel, you have an audience. You don't have to create a course per se, but what else could you do so that your revenue is more consistent? And whether YouTube does something to you, it doesn't matter without having to buy a $500,000 house.
Yeah. Well, what was tough is I wanted to do mentoring with this house hack model and then with YouTube. And I didn't find it enjoyable at all. And it was very distracting from the main channel. And so that was one thing I pursued, like the Patreon model.
Yeah, Patreon one is dumb. I think the Patreon model is, unless it's like a private community, I think the donation model is pretty stupid. I just don't like, I feel like it needs to be a little bit of a value exchange. Like I'm giving you money for access to you or private content that's really good. It just feels like a charity thing. So would you want to code? Like what else could you do? Again, brainstorm with me. The audience is brainstorming so that your revenue is more predictable. So that if YouTube does this, it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah. I don't know, to be honest.
I know. That's why we're brainstorming.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
All right, the audience has answers. Newsletter.
Let's hear what they have.
Do you use a newsletter stuff? Do you email out once a week?
No, I don't. You're in the email marketing world. This is gonna upset you.
All right, Spencer, I got it. I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna start drinking now. I just can't take it anymore.
You're gonna have some tequila shots.
Okay, step one today, go sign up for sendfox.com. We email out every one of our videos, and when we do a video and we email, it takes off.
Really?
Yes, 100%. Plus, if you want to sell something like James O'Donnell's talking about, you want to sell a course, you want to sell coaching, you want to sell software, you want to sell a book, you want to sell anything, now you have an audience that you can consistently do where you don't have to depend on YouTube. So I would recommend going to sendfox.com. We built it. It's free to use. All right, now let me go what else the audience. So go sign up for your email list and put it in your descriptions of your videos. Don't tell them to go follow you on Tinder or wherever. Tell them like go sign up for your newsletter. All right, so Tynan, again, I think this is true for everyone. Like people are like, no, you have money or whatnot. It was never about the money. It was like, how do I live low enough so that as the money accumulates, then I feel free to do whatever I want.
Yeah, which by the way, Tynan, I actually do this. I am financially free if it weren't for the debt because I cash flow so much from my house.
What are you talking? It's not financially free if you have debt.
No, I'm saying when I pay off the debt.
What are you saying?
No, I'm saying
of course you'd be financially free if you didn't have the debt.
No. When this debt's paid off, like if I just want to exist, I cash flow enough from this house to pay off any of my living expenses.
All right, so let's go. Can we go over a few more things to help you get money so that you're not dependent on the YouTube algorithm and you're not dependent on trying to buy a house that you shouldn't do? So I like Interview Lab. you could do affiliate marketing of products you already like, not like courses, but like, hey, here's software, or like for me, you know, like Aura Ring, I was promoting them. Is there products that you like you could do affiliate on?
Yeah, I've thought about that. Like what products would work in the description of YouTube?
Or email, like get your email. Can you please do that this weekend? What are you doing instead? Here's the fucking thing I don't get, man. And I'm saying this with love because I like you.
Yeah.
If I was in debt or my shit wasn't working, that's all I would do. Like,
what do you mean?
I would be working my fucking ass off to get the fuck out of debt so I don't have that pressure.
Yeah, man. I wish you saw my life. Like, I work until 11 p.m.
No, I'm saying, but the email list, I said, hey, are you going to do it this weekend? You're like, I don't know. What's more, and that's fine if you have things that are, you think, higher value.
Yeah.
Like what? What's higher value than that?
I find that doing a lot of that, it takes away my time and energy from what I'm actually doing, which is YouTube. You know, maybe I hire someone to do that. I don't know. Am I upsetting you?
No, I just don't know how to help. You can't help people that don't want to help themselves, but I think you want help. So I feel like I'm trying to help, but then I'm like, oh, maybe he doesn't want it.
I don't know.
Jane. Hey, it's Jane. Hey, Jane, good to see you. She's saying you're being a little stubborn, and she's got.
Yeah, I'm even more stubborn in person.
The thing is, you're not paying me. We're not like brothers.
Yeah.
You could make a product for AppSumo.com. Have you heard of AppSumo.com?
I have.
Have you seen our marketplace?
I have.
Could you make a product for that? Maybe
like a house hacking course. That's one thing I am an expert at is house hacking. This like very niche model of real estate.
This person said I'm having a mental breakdown. I think, Anna, we're all trying to help. And, you know, I think that's one of the things I love about this audience is that they're so helpful to each other. It's honestly a little almost strange to me how great they are. And I think they're just trying to really help each other.
That's appreciated.
So it seems like one of the main things, Spencer, is like diversifying your revenue from this magical house thing. That's, I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah.
But you have the YouTube and you have the audience. Like maybe now you can take that audience and monetize it with like Tynan has books on Amazon. Maybe you have a course. Maybe you create software. Maybe you host something. Like here, let's do an example. Are you open-minded for an example that you might do?
All I can tell you here, I can tell you this. One thing that I found is like it's very hard. It's very distracting. Like everything that's not YouTube is very distracting, and I have a hard time putting my all into YouTube, which right now is the most important thing because it is the audience, it is the growth, it is the revenue, and so that's why it's so hard for me to do anything else. Is because I spend so much time on YouTube. Like that isn't like a what do you call the word? Hyperbole. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm spending 3 hours at a bar every night. It's like you should be spending your time elsewhere. It's like, dude, I work till 11:30, 11 o'clock at night every night. I haven't had a day off in years. I don't even know what a day off looks like.
This is an interesting idea. Can we invest in your channel?
Yeah, you actually can. What's up, Matthew?
How can they invest in your channel?
There's going to be a way when you have, like with blockchain, there's going to be ways to invest in channels. So for instance, let's say my channel's worth $1 million. You can get 10% of all future revenues. And for now, 10% would cost 100 grand. So I would receive 100 grand, but then you could have 10% of all future revenues.
If I'm straight with you, I don't know if I would invest in you because I'm not clear on where it's going.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'm totally with you.
But it's like if you were like, hey, I'm going to take this YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers, and here's my plan to do it, and here's how we make money, and here's the business. Like that makes it more clear of a plan.
Yeah.
Right now, it seems like you have like the house thing you're excited about, but the YouTube thing is working. It's just not making as much money as you'd like to. Yeah,
exactly. Look, man, I'm new to this. Like I was doing YouTube for a while. It's not like I'm some like YouTube extraordinaire who's like been through the years of it. From the revenue side. So when I lose 70%, I don't know if this is normal, right? Because if this becomes the norm, then this is a lot of work for $3,900 a month. You know what I mean? Like if YouTube stops, if they keep throttling my videos, then it's hard to.
Really quickly, you do 2 videos a week and you make $4,000 a month, and that's crazy for you?
Crazy low or crazy high?
That seems fucking pretty nice, dude. If I had to do 2 videos a week, how many hours does a video take overall?
Like I said, I do this all day, every day. There's no day off. So this is more than a full-time job.
So is there parts, and someone was asking to break down your day, but is there maybe parts that you could remove of your day to have more free time to do higher value, higher leverage things?
I don't know. I would love to have like someone in person, because I don't know, like this isn't a skill of mine of like the hiring and running it like a business. Like the way I see what I do, I don't know how, what actually makes the channel successful is me. Like I could hire out the editing and it would cost, whatever, $2,000 a month. Like that would open up time for sure. So that'd be a time saver.
What would be the first thing you'd want someone to help you with?
I think editing would make the most sense.
And then do you have budget? Like, do you actually want that?
Not right now.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about your videos. Guys, yeah. Spencer makes a lot of time making these videos. Let's go into some of the meaty stuff around this. So your videos and your channel that you make $4,000 a month from, you study these gurus, are these charlatans, as I like to call them. Can you tell me how they operate, like these gurus? Like, walk me through like an example. Like if we came up with the course, like, oh, get rich on the beach. Like, what's the psychology of how these people scam and execute this type of stuff for the audience?
Yeah, well, it's all about getting rich quick, easy, and without experience. Like you can do this one business opportunity. You can get into real estate with no money and no experience and be a millionaire next month. It's all about fast wealth and doing it easy. And what I found is that a lot of these guys operate in the gray area where they have a little success. A lot of them will do Amazon. They'll sell on Amazon for 3 months or 6 months, and they'll make a little money. And they immediately turn to the coaching and the selling the courses, because that's where the real money is. The gold mine is selling the courses.
And so how does someone out there, I guess if someone's trying to do it, but in a good way, I guess, how would they convince the audience that they're not actually shady and their thing is legit? Because I think that's how I felt as when I created a course. I'm like, hey, I've worked at like really popular companies. I've created numerous companies. Some failed, some succeeded. And so how do you, differentiate yourself if you're trying to sell a course or books and so forth? Transparency
about your past. If you actually did the thing you're preaching, you should show like, hey, I've done this many real estate deals, or I've sold this much on Amazon. So that's the first thing, is like showing you have a past in success in whatever you're preaching. And then, well, transparency throughout is always important. But then for me, it's the advertising, which is why I focus so much on the marketing and the advertising part. I just really dislike this world we're in social media, where there's no police, right? You can basically make crazy claims. And unfortunately, there's enough people out there who are vulnerable at this moment to that messaging, and they fall victim to these schemes, right? Like you can't go on TV and promise, or I don't know about TV, but like there are regulators on certain advertising. Like if you're Pepsi, you can't promote like at the Super Bowl, like here's a Pepsi can, it will cure cancer. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get fined and there are going to be ramifications. But with this guru space, you can basically preach. I released a video today, and the guy is all about, I can help you make 400% overnight in options trading. It's like, you can't say that stuff. It's not legal, but there's no police force. There's no regulation.
How come there's not like a Yelp for gurus where people can actually, and I think what's actually fascinating about the guru stuff is like Ramit Sethi, who's a good friend of mine and very well known, and Tim Ferriss, these are gurus.
Right.
And it's interesting though, because you could have someone who's bought their products and hated it, even though there's a lot of people who bought their products and liked it. So I always feel like, how does that kind of get separated or not?
Yeah, I've thought about this too. A few people have come to me and asked for like a marketplace. What I find really challenging with humans though, is a lot of times it isn't actually the course, which is why I rarely look at the course material. Because at the end of the day, in order to succeed, you have to do it. You have to put in the time. You have to at least try. I think you mentioned you had a course and what, 20% of people even finish the course? It's like, that's not on the creator. So even with these fake gurus that I don't care for, if the students aren't even looking at the course material and then they go on some review site and it's like 1 star, worst course ever, I didn't get successful overnight. Well, is that on the course creator or is that on the student? Was the course actually poor? That's where it gets challenging for a marketplace. Like Ramit Sethi, Tim Ferriss, it's like when you've produced 100,000 people that have like succeeded with your course, and then there's 1,000 people that didn't have success, but they give you 1 stars. It's like I've always had this thought that like 5-star restaurants probably have every now and then someone who gives it a 1 star. It's like, how is that even possible?
I mean, for the audience, you're saying to show their history, but also I guess one question I'd say is like, how can you become a guru if you're just getting started? or how can you become respected as a thought leader or an expert in something if you're just getting started maybe sharing that information online, or if you're younger too?
Be transparent to share the journey. I had a series called The Journey to Wealth that I was doing where I was showing like my wins and losses, like when I made money on a real estate deal or when I increased my income at my job. I would show every single stage. That way it was in real time. You could see it from start until where I'm currently at. I would recommend that. I think everyone loves the journey. They love seeing someone. They love buying into someone when they are on the journey.
Who, if you could kick one guru in the tushy, who do you think is the biggest fraudster out there?
I think Dan Locke is probably one of the biggest.
Okay. There's people like him and Ty Lopez. We're making a video today about Ty Lopez, and everyone, it's so funny, this guy, that people are still talking about him. But Jeremy and Jonathan on the research team, he actually has some really interesting stuff going on. There is definitely some questionable stuff in terms of how he approaches it, which it's funny because that ruins the rest of your brand. But he's got some like pretty clever things. So what is it that Dan is doing that we can learn from and maybe avoid? And why do you feel so strongly about him?
Because his entire past was shady, right? Like a lot of these guys, they just all of a sudden show up and they're wearing the business suit and oh yeah, I used to I was broke and had no money, and then I started making 10 grand a month doing this, and then I made 100 grand a month, and then ran all these businesses, but yet there's no proof of any of it. And so a lot of these guys, they exist in the gray area where they might have done what they were saying they were doing, but not to the success levels that they say they did, right? They might have made 10 grand copywriting, but then when they go to sell the course, they were making 10 grand a month for 5 years. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, they might have had a little success, but it's just, look, a lot of these guys are obsessed with money. They're so greedy, and that's what they use to sell. They use kind of the success image to sell themselves. And yet they never talk about, like, they never use hard numbers with their past. And what I'm saying is that's a behavioral discrepancy, right? Like when you're very clearly about money, but then you don't show, you're very transparent about how much quote unquote money you make today, but then you aren't transparent about your past. That's a behavioral discrepancy. That to me is like a major red flag.
Have you ever talked to this Dan guy?
No.
What would you want to ask if you could? Because your channel is about guru busting.
Yeah.
What would you want to ask him?
I'd start from square one. Like, just open the books. Let's look at tax returns. That's what I'd love to see. Let's look at tax return. Let's see how much money you were actually making. He wouldn't show that, and I get it. Not everyone's comfortable showing that, but I just ask him about his past. Like, be honest with me.
I mean, what qualifies? We talked a little bit. What qualifies someone as like an authentic? Like, I would say me. I'm a business. I wouldn't say guru. I don't like that word, but I'd say business teacher, business educator versus someone who is a charlatan. And like, let's even try this for a second. Like, is Noah? I think Tynan was joking, but is Noah a scam? Where's that? Is it like? How would you say that? Like, you could probably position that Noah Kagan is a scam.
I try not to use that word too much, the S word, scam, because it's like, to me, a real scam is where they call your grandma. Like, my grandma was getting called all the time for these like car warranties, and it was like every day, and she was kind of losing her mind. So she would pay into these car warranties, and it was obvious that's a scam, right? But a lot of these courses are getting labeled as scams, and they kind of are based on the advertising. So to me, if you were to start promoting yourself as like, hey, you can join my marketplace, I guarantee you'll start making 100 grand a month. That's where it starts getting into the charlatan space.
What, it's the guarantee?
The guarantees, yeah, the guarantees and the promises. And look, I have these 3 students, and like you use what are they called? Fake images, like the
fake testimonials?
The stock image. No, you use stock images for testimonials. It's like, here's Kevin. Kevin started my program, and 3 days later, he was on a beach with beautiful models and making 10 grand a month. It's like, that's all shady.
What do these people all do in common? All these fake, the fake gurus.
It's all in the advertising. It's a success image. They set themselves up as this successful guy. Like Dan Pena is one of the biggest ones. His motto is the $1 trillion man. It's like, it's so funny, but yet people buy into it because he does this like business coaching where he just yells at you and curses you out. But all these students of his that go on, he like accumulates their earnings as his own. And so then he calls himself the $1 trillion man now. It's very bizarre. But that's where you start getting into the success image that these guys portray, because people buy into it. And look, they're great marketers. I will be the first to admit it. They're great at personal brand marketing. Ty Lopez is one of the best.
I guess one thing I'm trying to, I've always wanted to make a video of just like showing my life, like because these guys get on planes. These guys.
You've never seen them at a business office. They've never shown that, you know, these businesses they run. They never show their employees, or it's always stock footage. It's kind of funny.
Do you think we can make a video where it's like me I'm at the office all day, and then I go home and my, I do have a Tesla Model Y, but like I go home and the house is kind of like literally my floors are ruined.
Here's what's funny. I've had a thought, and I think you'll appreciate this thought. So you're into marketing. Generally, you market products, right? It's like, here's my cell phone, right? Here's a great cell phone. I can list the features, the benefits. Maybe this has been done before, but in social media, we now have people that market themselves. So you market a brand of yourself. And that's where it kind of gets this confusing world where you start marketing yourself as the product, and then you sell courses, and I guess the courses would be the product, but you market a brand that is you. That's what Tai Lopez was great at, right? He's not marketing really a product. He's marketing him. He's got the cars. He's got the women on the private jets. He hangs out with all these business experts. You know, my mentor, Joel Salatin, and it's like he's marketing him. And then, oh, by the way, he's got a product.
I guess I'm marketing myself. Like when I put out videos and I'm like, hey, we put out a video about, Tai.
Yeah, it's a personal brand.
So I guess how should people be mindful when they put themselves out there to be taken seriously versus not? Like, I would not, personally, I would not like people like, yo, Noah's a fucking scammer.
Yeah, it wouldn't be comfortable. Transparency is always first, and then just being honest. Like if you lose money, talk about it. If you are making money, you can talk about that too. Being transparent to me is always the solution.
Have you heard stories? Like, what are some of like the crazier stories you've heard from like the students of like, because I'm sure you put these videos out and people comment or they reach out to be like, hey, here's some crazy shit that happened to me that I got scammed.
Yeah, more of those students go on CoffeeZilla's channel, because I generally don't like doing those because every business is going to have like one negative experience. And so I try to stay away from like, see, this guy lost money, therefore this is a scam. But I actually don't get too many messages about students getting scammed. So if you do, CoffeeZilla's channel, he interviews all of them. I send them his way. And so we're talking like,
what would you say that you highlight?
I highlight the advertising and marketing mostly. That's what I like to focus on.
Why do you do that? Because sometimes I feel like when I see your channel and CoffeeZilla's channel, personally, it feels very negative. It feels like, hey, I guess you could argue that you're defending and you're protecting and you're saying, hey, watch out for these bad boys.
Yeah, by the way, that's totally avid criticism, which I'm totally comfortable addressing because it can be kind of negative. And the way I see it is there's two ways that you can look at this guru. And you can have a channel where it's like, hey, here's how you get successful at this one thing. Or also you can say, hey, here's how you avoid getting screwed. For instance, I did real estate flipping. I lost a bunch of money. There is benefit if I came out and said, here's actually how you avoid losing a lot of money because of bad contractors, right? It's a little more negative connotation, but it is still valuable. And I find that there is just as much value in saying, here's what to stay away from, as opposed to here's where to go.
So it's telling people like, hey, these are guys are kind of doo-doo heads.
Yeah, I try to teach through my content. Like my whole goal was to say, hey, here's how they market to you. Here's what to look out for. Here is, there's a lot of people that still buy into this where it's like, man, this guy, they'll message me on Instagram and it's like, hey, this guy promises this. Is he for real? It's like, okay, clearly I haven't done a good job teaching. The point is to teach you how they're selling you and what to really look out for. Like, here's what really goes on. If someone's going to teach you real estate wholesaling, which I haven't done too many videos on, I need to do more. Here's what real estate wholesaling really is. So when you get fed this advertising, here is how you interpret it. Here's how you let it spin around in your brain. And here is how you pursue it if you do want to pursue it.
I just want to highlight something I thought was pretty fascinating, just even in this conversation. So Marcel just is like, Gary Vee would like do this thing. And Gary Vee is so great. And then literally 2 comments later, we have Esteban saying Gary Vee is overrated. Right. So
yeah. So what I made a video on Gary Vee talking about survivorship bias. And this is also tying into what I just said. And so what you have with survivorship bias is you can have, let me give you an example. There are people out there who are not knowledgeable in anything, but they heard about this thing called Bitcoin. It was pretty cool. And so they put $1,000 into it. They only had a couple thousand. They put $1,000 into Bitcoin. They became millionaires, right? The same thing can happen with business where you just strike gold. You got into real estate flipping just at the downside of the market. And so you are successful, but there are certain things that happened, certain variables that happened that went your way. And everyone who succeeds will talk about you need to work hard, you need to do A, B, and C. But what we don't look at is the people who did literally the exact same thing as the people who succeeded, but didn't succeed. And so there is benefit at looking people like Gary Vee. It's like, yes, follow Gary Vee, but there's also plenty of people who did exactly what Gary Vee did and have either haven't succeeded yet or didn't succeed, or one of the numbers of business owners that unfortunately the business didn't succeed. And so to me, you can also learn a lot from those people as well.
So you've been doing this channel for 6 years?
Yep. January 15th, 2015 was my first video.
I guess, what have you noticed about these creators or, self-promoters, and has that evolved over time at all?
It's the same message. If you go back and look at Tom Vu, who's like a notorious real estate guy, the message is all the same.
Go on. What do you mean?
So it involves, this is easy. I have a certain type of secrets that only I know of or I was able to attain. No money. You can do it quick. It's all the same message. If you go back and look at some of the infomercials, man, it's crazy how similar it is.
One thing, has anyone ever done the opposite? Like, I do feel like we have a course, monthly1k.com, which I've promoted. I'm putting up my Instagram. People want to message me or talk to me about some of the stuff we're talking about today. I put out monthly 1K, and I think a lot of our marketing, yes, we did sell like, hey, we want to make you $1,000 a month, but a lot of our marketing was like, it's hard. And people are like, hey, how do I get rich? I didn't get rich this week. I'm like, you should get a refund then, and don't do this course because it's not going to be fucking easy.
Yeah, that's what I'd actually love to ask you is if you were to sell a course, like let's say one of these courses, like here's a real estate course. Like if I hired you, it's like, let's sell this real estate course on how to be successful in real estate. And this is all hypothetical, by the way. How could you sell that without using these gimmicks? Like, I think this is the problem on YouTube is you have so many people guaranteeing the fast wealth, easy, no experience. And so how do you sell and market a product and stand out from the noise without using that same messaging?
RJ said, I don't age, so I'm a scam. I appreciate it. I looked in the mirror yesterday. I was like, God, I was like, yeah. Sometimes I like looking in the mirror. My brother doesn't like looking in the mirror. So with these courses and stuff like that, do you want to create so the thing I'm actually skeptical of you a little bit is that you had 2 properties that totally flopped, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you had 1 property that's done okay.
Yeah.
That's the one you're in right now?
Correct. I have other successes, by the way, in real estate.
And so if you wanted to do a course, let's play.
I'll never do a course. This is all hypothetical.
Why would you ever do a course?
I don't believe in the model. I don't think it works. I believe in mentoring for sure.
What's the difference between mentoring and courses?
Mentoring is more one-on-one feedback, whereas a course is very surface level. You can only go so deep in a course unless you put out a course that's 30 hours long. Well,
I think where there's problems in courses is that just because there's a lot of videos doesn't mean it's a really high quality product.
Agreed. So here, let's say I'm a dating expert. I'm like, Noah, you're single. Here's this dating product, and it's however many hours, and it's right here, and it's okay. Here's how you go talk to a girl. Here's how you get her number. Yada yada. Okay. It's way different doing that versus if you came to me and said, dude, I keep having this hang up. She keeps asking this question, and I'm like, dude, this is what it means. Here's exactly how you respond. That's the value in mentoring, the feedback, and that. To me, that is what it was what you're talking about earlier, where you have these groups of people that you can message. Like if you're getting hung up on something, the value is that instant feedback, whereas a course doesn't provide that. And I just know the numbers. Like very few people even go through with the course and like this online course model. I would really struggle putting out a course if I didn't have 100% success rate. Like that really bothers me to my core. And that's why I'd really struggle with it.
So I'm going to put up our course for the people that are curious about it. If you guys want to see what a course looks like, I think we raised the price to $100. I think let's take a step back and let's actually do the real estate, because I think there's a lot of people out here that want to have courses or want to have books, want to have software. Like, what is the difference between a software and a book? Right? Theoretically, if it's the same type of subject matter, if it's cooking or something else, the idea is the software does it for you. The book should be cheaper because you're going to have to do it yourself. So I kind of disagree with you, the mentor thing, because all you're really discussing is outcomes. You're like saying, hey, I want an outcome. There are many ways. You can't see it at the camera. But there are many ways to get the outcome I want. Maybe it's getting a wife or husband. Maybe it's actually getting money through real estate. Maybe it's getting money through an email list. Maybe it's success on YouTube. So you could put it on the customer or not, but what are you an expert in?
I think at this point, house hacking and YouTube, I'm very comfortable saying I'm expert.
Okay, so if you wanted to create a course, let's just do YouTube, because I think there are a lot of people that do coaching and mentoring on that are watching right now.
Right.
If you wanted to create a course, would you rather let's do YouTube as one?
Okay.
And so Kevin, I don't know what Kevin's talking shit. So what is the outcome that you can provide these people either through mentoring or a book or a course? What would you be able to say, hey, I can help you probably get to this point?
My goal was first 1,000 subs. So that was my brand, because I have an ebook out that's free, and I was doing mentoring for this. And first 1,000 subs is it, because after that, it's up. There's so many variables that you can't guarantee or promise.
Okay, so you actually created a book?
I have an ebook, yeah, and it's hands down one of the best for YouTube growth. I would put it up against anyone.
Where is it?
It's on. Do you want the link?
Yeah.
Okay. I've already forgot it. I got it.
For the audience that's out there, if you're looking, I'll just tell you how we approach creating a course. Takir said he's bored. Takir, then leave. Go do work. Go back to work, man. We're going to end out in about like 10 minutes. So let me pull this up. Did you ever sell this?
No.
Why not?
I wasn't interested.
That's my NBA Top Shots. I got it. Oh, let me see where I'm in line. Oh, the drop has ended.
Oh, you missed it?
Missed it. Next time. All right. So I'm going to pull it up. So
I think it's 87 pages.
Yeah. So for everyone that's out there, and I'll call this out in a second, I'll put the link up here in the.
It's going to hurt your soul in a second. I can't wait to see your reaction in a minute. I know exactly what's going to hurt your soul.
I think what's interesting here is that for anyone that's out there that wants to create a course or a book or anything where they're educating people, it could be a coaching program like Tynan does his coaching program. I think at the end of the day, it's the result. Agreed. So I've never, like when we did monthly1k.com, I literally, I've done a lot of business myself, which is, let's even take that out of the equation. I manually helped people. I didn't go make videos. I didn't go like write a book. I didn't go make like any teachable account. It didn't exist. We created our own software, but I went and manually helped people. And some people, no matter what, I couldn't help. And some people I was able to. And so I think if anyone's trying to create a coaching business or a book business or any of this, start manually. And then you can document that to create an online course or some type of program. I think a lot of people just do it like, hey, I made a bunch of videos and now I'm going to go pray to Udemy. And so I highly discourage that. So let's take out, this is first1000subs.com. I am curious, and I think this is going to be an interesting answer. Why are you not comfortable selling this? Is it because you talk about people that sell courses?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to dig deep into my psyche, that's certainly part of it. The second I put out something like charged, I got a lot of feedback for sure, a lot of negative feedback for sure. So that's part of it. Also, I don't want to go into this business. Like this to me was just, I was at home on Thanksgiving and I was like, I can help out people. So I'm going to put this out there. Oh, so you don't even ask for an email address. Here it is. Here it is. I don't want to deal with emails, man. I don't want to spend any time dealing with emails. I hate them. Just stay poor. Yeah, I'm not after money like most people, man. I don't believe that. It's fine. How many people have actually donated to you? A couple people. That was more of an experiment. Like I was actually really curious if people would donate. And you said you got a few $100? Yeah, I had a few people sign up for Patreon too. But also, okay. So I also don't think like YouTube's really hard. That's why it's so hard to like charge for this stuff. Is like YouTube is so hard. I think most people who even read this to me is an amazing ebook. But even people who read this and want to apply it, I don't even know if they'd have success. Like YouTube is so challenging. So that's why I have a hard time charging for it. Let me just ask. I'm curious the audience. So I don't even care, Spencer. You can earmuff it. So audience, Spencer's built a channel, 100,000 plus people. Our channel and Noah Kagan's channel now like 130,000. How much? And I'm curious. We're not selling you shit. This is more of like a social experiment. How much would anybody? And you guys can all say zero or don't say anything. How much would you guys pay to have Spencer or me coach you in getting your first 1,000 people on you, first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? I'm just Spencer. Just hold on. Just hold on. So I'm curious for the audience out there. How much would you guys pay to have Spencer or me coach you in getting your first 1,000 subscribers? And you guys could say zero, not interested. You could say whatever you want. Just, be straightforward. Jennifer, it's good to see you. Jennifer and Jane. All right. So some people, this is live coaching. I'm not even saying like an ebook. Some people would, okay. So $100 from Jerry. What is that?
Jane, $100. Jane, I would charge you 200. Just kidding. Jane's a friend. Aaron McDermott, $500. Spencer, not Noah. That's a good point because Spencer doesn't have a team.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah.
This guy Ayush is broke. All right, Ayush. Well, we're gonna I'm just trying to show you some examples of like Spencer is not. He's in debt, by the way, and he doesn't want to. I know you don't like making money, but you like it. So you're weird. You have some weird money stuff you need to.
I'm stubborn, man. Like I only want to make money the ways I want to. Like to me, this isn't interesting to me. Like coaching.
That's why I said earmuff it for you.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you why, by the way, if you want to hear.
So Cam would pay 2 G's. Darren is $199. Jesse Wilcoxon. Dude, that's a cool last name. Aaron Beatles. Aaron, I would pay you to have me coach you. John Dial, Noah 99, Spencer 0. So RJ says he's gonna take Noah's blood. Anywho, I think you have a great point with, and this is for everyone that's out there, is that if you're doing some work, oh, that was actually kind of a nice view. If you're doing the work and you don't want to do that work to make money, don't do it. So like Spencer, I totally get it. Like when I did monthly1k.com, we sold $1 million of it plus in the first year. That was our goal. And I'll tell you, I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it because half the people didn't want any of the work. They didn't want to do any work. They were just like, hey, I want to get rich and I'm not rich today. And I'm like begging them to do some of these things that it's not going to be immediate. And I just hated being that level of a coach for them. That's why I like the YouTube channel. That's why I like these office hours. It's an environment that works for me. So I don't fault you and anyone out there that's like, hey, I don't want to make money doing it this thing. But I think you're, like, as a lot of the people in the audience, I think you're closed off or maybe not open to some of these things that you have an advantage, you have a skill. And so is there a way to make them enjoyable for you to make money?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think this is like in a roundabout way, this is where I'm getting to is like, I have coached a few people. There's one person who's like a minor celebrity that I've talked with and like, he won't even put out videos. And it's like, it's not enjoyable to me. Like these guys put like 2,000 in the comments. Like I can't tell you enough, like how much I don't enjoy that, especially because I don't believe that that person will succeed. I'm sorry. It's just, I think YouTube is so hard that unless you have like a business.
Hey, look, if someone paid me 1,000, I could get them 1,000 subs, guaranteed. Guaranteed. How long it'll take? It would take at least 12 months.
Okay. Fair.
But I think your point is they have to be committed to doing the work. As long as
it destroys me if I'm gonna take someone's money and like 3 weeks later they aren't like even closer to the goal. Like I can't explain how much that like doesn't sit well with me and I can't enjoy it.
But this is the part that I don't understand about you, and we're gonna, man, I feel like we come back to the same thing. And we're gonna end up because it's an hour and a half, and that's my threshold. Why did you make this fucking book in the first place? You clearly want to help.
So I did. I started the Patreon to do coaching, by the way. It was the funnel, right? It was a funnel into doing mentoring. And then I did mentoring for a little bit and I was like, I don't care for this. And so I stopped.
You didn't want to do the mentoring?
Correct. Yeah. So I did. Like I had people I was helping, but then I realized real quickly that I didn't enjoy it.
Is there not people that maybe you could have more applications so you could filter to people that will actually do the work better?
It would need to be very specific. I found that if you have means to make money off YouTube, then there's a better chance of making it work. So it would be filtered for those people. But then we're talking about like a super small amount of people, and maybe there are people out there. I don't know.
This has been it's been challenging today. I'm like talking to you. Well, I don't like talking to you. I like you as a person.
Yeah.
I think trying to talk to you about like the things that you need to do to get to the level that sounds like you want to get to. There's just like some like it's like the positive battery and the positive battery just like pushing against each other.
Yeah, totally understand. So I have one person I'm talking to is someone who's like a minor celebrity, and even he won't like start videos. And so it's just like he has everything set up to make YouTube successful, and it's just a waste of my time.
Yeah.
So that's all. It's not an enjoyable endeavor.
All right, audience, any other final questions in the last 5 minutes of Spencer? And then I'll stay on for a little bit to do like a wrap up. Spencer, how do you feel about this conversation?
I'm cool talking anything. I love criticism, so I think it's cool. It's always good to hear people's feedback because there's a lot of things I might do that aren't in my best interest. And so it's nice to have feedback from others.
It is tough, man. It's easy for me to come and give you the feedback. You know, at the end of the day, that's why I generally don't like I don't like coaching. I don't like consulting necessarily because I don't want, if people don't do the work, that feels like a waste of my time.
Yes.
So I feel you on that. And I do appreciate you coming and being open-minded. Well, I don't know if you're open-minded. I appreciate you sharing and talking here sharing some of your stories and your experiences. Let me see some of Alex is here. Kevin Fox is going to take an upper, send some our way. Oh, shit, people. Jennifer, I agree with you. All right. No, you guys want me to sing? Oh, it's Al, my Ugandan subscriber. Better late than never. Good to see you, my man. Ricky says, Ricky's daughter says you should go buy a taco.
I love tacos.
What do you think the moral of the story is for everyone who watched today? Because I have some thoughts about it. I'm curious your take.
Moral of the story?
Yeah.
Work really hard. At whatever you want to do.
I hear you. I hear you. That's not the moral of the story I would take away from today. What do you got? Because I think, Spencer, I think a lot of people can relate to your stubbornness.
Yeah.
And the challenge of focusing. I think that's kind of the big thing. And tacos, yes, always tacos. Okay, we all get that part. But I think that's one of the higher takeaways is that it's not easy. There are a lot of people that are alone on this journey, and that's why we do the YouTube, we do the community, we do the office hours, we do all this stuff. So it is really tough. And then I do think the focus is hard because you're really excited to do this real estate stuff that's not doing great. You're not excited to do the coaching that a lot of people would want from you and pay from you a lot of money, and you'd be able to help them get the results. And the YouTube stuff, it seems like there's pretty clear things to do that would help you take it 10x the channel. There's hiring. I
don't know if that helps though. Like I would hire the editors, but I don't know how that progresses the channel forward. Because I'm editing now, right? So if you hired out the editor, like how does that grow? How does that make the video better? If that makes sense. Like let's say I can forget the money. Like I replace the editing, my skills with editing with someone. Like how does that make a channel grow?
You tell me.
Right. What makes a channel grow is titles and thumbnails. That's it. And then there's luck. It's like, does the algorithm like you or does it not?
I mean, doesn't it give you more time to make better titles and thumbnails if you hired an editor?
Maybe a little. That would be the one thing is like if you could put out 1 or 2 extra videos a month, that would help for sure.
All right, Spencer, I got to get going.
Cool.
Hey, I want to see you keep succeeding. Look, it's not easy. I like for you to be more open-minded. I don't want you to go just do everything I say, but I think you literally just say no to everything, which I think I would be fine with if you were professionally at a different level.
Yeah.
And look, everyone should do whatever the fuck they want. Everyone should be whatever level they want. But if you're at this level that you're like, hey, I'm fucking where I want to be and I'm doing the things I want, then I'd be like, yeah, keep doing them. But it sounds like you're not exactly there.
Right.
But then you're close to everything that you could change to get there. So I'm like, well, I can't help that.
Right. No, I understand.
And you're like, hey, you said earlier in the show, like, no, I like some of the shit you're at. I'm like, well, I'm telling you what the fuck I would do.
Yeah.
I'm telling you exactly what I would do. Like if I came run your shit, I would hire all these. It's like, even if you don't have a lot of money, you're making 4 Gs. That's enough to hire someone to free up your time to do higher value activities, like to do more shows or do better thumbnails or why aren't you doing 5 videos a week? Yeah. I mean, it's all possible. Like there's no difference than Graham and Tim Ferriss than you. I just think, these guys have, professionalized it, been open-minded to trying some of these things out.
Yeah.
And the results have been for them. I get it's hard with the debt and stuff like that, but it sounds like you're getting out of debt in 2 months.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see where I'll be at then. I think my mind will be a lot more open. It's been a really hard 2 years for me. Like I can't express, like if you were with me, you would see how hard it's been. I've taken a lot of punches, a lot of losses, and I think I'm going to be in a lot better place in a couple months, and I'm excited for it.
I hope so too, man. I 100% swear to God, I hope so too.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Have a good Shabbat Shalom. Have a great Friday. I'm rooting for you. Everyone's rooting for you. We're only here to help. And I think a lot of people are relating to the challenge of life and business.
Yeah.
And so when you ask me do I have problems? I got problems just like everyone else. It's just different problems. Doesn't mean they're easier. And I think what problems are is just like, how are we looking at that?
Agreed.
How are we looking? That's why I'm like, I don't know if my problems are that bad. It's just like, do I want to face them and deal with them as a whole separate, that's why I signed back up for therapy next week.
Yeah.
All right, my dude. You have a great Friday.
Thank you so much, man.
Everyone subscribe. Go check out Spencer's channel. It's one of my favorite on YouTube. I'm going to stick around for a bit. Later, dude.
See you.
I got like one. I fucking love every single one of you. Esteban, Dion, you guys also stayed an hour and 40. And normally, once I go over an hour and 30, I'm like, I'm crashing. It's not making much sense. But like Trevor Martin, good to see you. Jane, I don't know if you showed up to officers, but it's great to see you. Alex, good to see you, my man. One, I think what I love about every single one of you is how supportive you guys are for each other, for yourselves, and this journey of life. It's easy and hard at the same time, and it's nice to have the support and help of each other. So I think you guys can relate. I saw a lot of you guys in the comments. Gulshay for making it in Holland, Jennifer. You guys can relate. Like I think you guys are watching Spencer, and it's nothing negative about Spencer, but you can relate and say that reminds me of me. I think Tina was saying some of that, and some of you are like, hey, maybe I need to be a little bit different based on how I'm seeing this other person show up. John Dial, I love that you're hanging with us. Love from India. Ashwin, good to see you, my homie. Dude, Aaron Beatles, yeah, I honestly, yeah, I want to brag. You guys are the best. Like, seriously, the audience that shows up and, like, helps each other. You got, I don't know how him or her or whoever up there hooked me up. Thank you. Hey, Florian, Stuttgart. I wanted to fucking help. I really wanted to help Spencer. Spencer doesn't want to be helped. There's a lot of pushback. Lux Life, I love you too. That was tough to listen to, Ian. I agree. But also, it's interesting, Spencer's channel. I think one of the things that I took away is that he's got this thing that's working well. And I think what we've done in our business is that it's like, hey, that's working well. Go all the way. And he's like, oh, but I want to go over here. It's like, okay. I am drained, but I think I'm just a little tired because I did a video before this and I didn't sleep because I just got back from Puerto Rico. But Chew George, I love you, man. I'm glad that you showed up. Yeah, the comments, you guys are amazing. Chua, I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Isn't it cool? I paid actors to just make it seem like we have an office that have people in it. So you guys are like, wow, Noah's got a real company, but they just walk out and they do a lap. They just do a lap so you guys think people are here. Kevin, hey, Kevin, I love Kevin. Kevin O'Rourke, wineman.co.uk. Kevin, you were very critical of him. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Maybe it came, and sometimes I come across very critical and negative, even though it's not my intent. But I feel you, man. It's just tough. I think what's interesting about feedback and stuff like this is, one, he didn't really ask me for my opinion. So one, if someone doesn't ask for your opinion, frankly, I should have just shut the fuck up and not given it to him because he doesn't want it. Number one. Number two, at the end of the day, it's your and my responsibility to take input from gurus or fake gurus or books or whatever the fuck online, and then you filter to make your intelligent decision what you believe and what you want to do. If there's people that are at places that have done the things you want to do or where you want to think you want to be, you might want to listen to it. You don't have to, but I would consider it. Luke, I'm glad you showed up for office hours. I'm here every single Friday. You guys show up, I'll show up. Our headquarters are in Austin, Texas, but I don't think we'll have our office after, I think our lease is up April 2022. Thank God. Fuck it, $40,000 a month. So stupid. Oh, this is a good part. So yeah, Tynan, from today, connect with your community. So have a Slack group, have a WhatsApp group. Facebook, I hate Facebook, but maybe it's a Facebook group. Maybe it's a circle.so group. I love connecting with you guys. It's honestly like, this is one of the highlights of my week, knowing that I'm going to be able to come do this. What is my favorite sunscreen? So look, this is actually important. I want to show this because we talked about it earlier today. So look, this is Tynan, brother. If you guys, here, I'm going to show it up here. If you're a male, and females already do this. Females already like take care of their stuff. But it's the Neutrogena sunscreen. And look, I'm going to buy it for this one. I love this. It's just a stick. And if you're a dude, you know we're kind of lazy. It's like $8. I use this every single day. And by the way, all right, so Alex, if you are starting a YouTube channel, what I'd highly recommend is you join our Slack group or apply to join our Slack group to help each other, or just do it in the comments right now. Get started. okdork.com/underdogs. We accept around 5 people a week to join the group. So I would love for you guys to join. The group is honestly, I can't believe how helpful they are to each other. Sometimes, honestly, it shocks me and amazes me at the same time. Anna, I take your question seriously because that's a serious thing. So Aaron, I'm here to help you. I help every other one of you gorgeous people. Aaron, I don't know what your question was. I do have to get going because it's an hour and 45. I will be here next Friday. Next Friday. Oh, by the way, next Friday, we're going to be giving away an NBA Top Shot card, NBA Top Shot card, one of these moments and NFTs. It's probably going to be worth like $50. So we'll be giving one of them away. This guy named Jesse, who bought the most expensive NBA Top Shot, is going to come on to office hours. Yeah, you guys talk with Tynan as well. You guys are doing some stuff today in the comments. I need to hear some good news. Tell me one fucking good thing that you're going to be doing this weekend, and then I'm going to end the show. All right. What is one good thing you're going to be doing? I am driving up to Dallas, Texas. Dieter, maybe I'll see you up in Dallas. I'm driving up to Dallas, Texas. I'm going to see my best friend, JR, who lives in Sunnyvale. What is something you guys are going to do for yourself this weekend? Yeah, I'm understood. This group is so fucking amazing. Troll Char. The group, seriously, guys and girls, everyone, and pronouns. Unfucking believable. So amazing of a group. Joey's going to sell donuts. Is that for reals? Oh my God, he really is. Joey, by the way, come over to youtube.com/okdork. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Alex, you guys got to check out this video where he hacked me. Surf Marco is going to purchase the monthly1k.com course. If you are buying the course and you're not willing to do work, do not buy the course. Sundeep, hey, good to see you, Sundeep. Spend time with his family. We believe that. I see all your comments on YouTube, and it weirds me the fuck out because that's the only thing you ever do is you comment, we believe that, da-da-da. It's like, I don't know, are you a bot or are you a real person? James going to play in YouTube videos. Dude, Francis, hell yeah, buddy. Fatima's giving away a workshop. Hey, give in the Slack group or on somewhere, if you guys are interested in joining her workshop, check it out. My course site is monthly1k.com. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to put up a link. For you guys, if you have individual questions, we'll do them next week. I'm starting to get around to them. Ricky's daughter's launching her podcast, Aaron Shu. I'll do my best next week to answer questions that you have. I hope you have a great weekend. Dude, Evan, I wish I would hang out with you guys tonight. Pizza and wings sounds so good. Test out my new drone. Yes. Tynan's flying to our homeland. Oh, brother, have a great trip. You know what I hate? Let me just that sounded so negative. I don't like when people say safe flight. I'm like, when has the flight ever crashed? I'm telling people, have a dangerous flight. Have a really fun flight. Tynan, I hope you have a very adventurous. I hope you watch all the Bachelor that you can on that flight. Peloton ride, hell yeah. Al's going to rewatch our vids. Yes, thumbs up those videos. I do like Joel Cherico. He makes pottery. The only reason we don't do some of the smaller figures is because they just don't do as well right now. We have to figure out how to make them more watchable by a larger audience. Hell yeah, Diana. I'm glad you joined. Just submitted the form for the underdogs. Chiaro, I think you're in the Slack group. Good to see you, my dude. All right, guys. I love every single one of you. I'll see you out there. You know, the pew-pews. What a Friday, office hours. They're always entertaining. It's not going to be easy. But nothing ever good is. So you guys have an amazing weekend. I will see you next Friday. Love you.